Hey parents, so in the last couple of posts, we talked about core interests. Hopefully your son or daughter has one of those. And then also strong abilities, things that they want to do well, that they can do, that they like to do, and that they can do for other people. Now, why does all of this matter? So every single job description out there is the combination of an interest and an ability. For instance, interest in math, ability to teach equals math teacher. Interest in football, ability to coach equals football coach. Interest in cancer, ability to treat or diagnose, oncologist. Interest in fluid logistics and ability to fix or build, plumber. You get where I'm going with this. So what I'm saying is that your interests that you have usually correlate to the industry in which you want to work. And the ability that you have usually correlates to how you want to affect that industry. So what it comes down to and what you need to do is basically create a large spreadsheet, maybe 3 columns across, maybe 3 rows down. And what you do is you put each one of those 3, say for instance, strong interests in the rows on the top, and then on the left side, on the rows on the left, you would do each of the abilities that your son or daughter has. And then what you want to do is you want to take a AI tool like ChatGPT and fill out a prompt like this. In other words, design or give me 10 jobs that have a strong interest in, and you name the interest, with a strong ability in, and you name the ability. And then it'll give you 10 jobs. And you do that with each of those 9 different combinations, 3 interests plus 3 abilities. You would get 9 different combinations. You would get 90 jobs out of that one aspect. Now, one thing to really look out for in that particular situation is, does a job appear in more than one cube? In other words, do you see it more than once in those 90 jobs? That's a good indicator that that's a really strong candidate for what your son or daughter might really want to do, because it combines both an interest and an ability, or 2 interests and 1 ability, or 2 abilities and 1 interest. So that's another way to try to figure out what it is that they really want to do. Because now what we're doing is we're putting together things that are stimulating to them intellectually. In other words, they're really interested in them. And they're also driven physically by the fact that they can do these things that they want to do within that industry. And with that, that gives you a chance to see some real jobs that meet those 2 criteria. Unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily meet the 3rd criteria, which we're going to talk about tomorrow. But that's step 2 of how to figure out what it is that your son or daughter wants to do. Do that exercise, and you'll get a lot closer than you might think to what might be their final destination or final position that they really want to have in life.